Halloween is one of my favorite holidays, if not my favorite holiday. I just have so many good memories of childhood. The ghost angle of it is something I've always been super interested in as well. So in 2004, on my radio show, I thought, okay, let's do something, really spooky. Let's go to a cemetery that has known hauntings in it, if you will, with the professional paranormal investigators. So that's exactly what I was able to do. I got Chad Lewis, who is a professional paranormal investigator in Wisconsin, and he met me at a cemetery in Appleton, Wisconsin, and we went out there and we did a ghost investigation.
At the moment, I am sitting in my vehicle by myself in the dark, looking at a cemetery, basically waiting for my paranormal investigator guy, Chad Lewis, to show up. Surprisingly, I'm not as creeped out as I thought I'd be.
And that right there was just a total blatant lie. I was sitting there in the dark in this parking lot by myself waiting for this guy who I've never met to show up, other than I know that he's a paranormal investigator, and I'm saying I'm less creeped out than I thought I'd be. You can hear it in my voice. I was just like, oh my god, what are we doing?
I hear a dog barking now and I'm kind of creeped out.
And keep in mind, when we recorded this was before the days of all the ghost shows that were on TV. So it wasn't totally mainstream where you're going to go and do ghost investigations. You were still kind of looked at as a little bit crazy, something you want to go and do for the fun of it.
Okay, we're coming to the site now of Kate Blood. It's kind of fenced off too.
You can see how secluded this is, trapped by the forest, the woods, and you have Kate Blood's gravestone there, and then the 3 gravestones. Initially, people said that it's Kate Blood, and then the 3 children that she killed. She killed her 3 children and then her husband. Well, we haven't found that she ever had any children, but what we have found is that these 3 are Kate Blood, her husband, and then her husband's second wife. But the story goes is that I talked to several people who have come here and seen apparitions hanging around this area right here on Kate's gravestone, that if you come here at night, up in the top right-hand corner, you'll see what appears to be blood coming out of the gravestone, but yet it is dry to the touch.
Now, we did take a look at this with a flashlight. We didn't see the rumored blood or anything like that. It was a secluded gravestone. It was kind of odd how far away it was from the rest of the cemetery, and it did have kind of a creepy setting to it. At that point, I was thinking, okay, this isn't so bad. It was a full moon out. You really could see fairly well in the cemetery once you get up to the main part. And then Chad decided to open us up to a whole other part of the cemetery that's also kind of off the beaten path. And this time it wasn't just a spooky name on a gravestone.
There used to be a series of grottos, stations, and sometime during the late 70s, early 80s, they took all the grottos out, blessed them, and buried them because too many people were vandalizing them. But it is there where it is said that if you go there, you will see the satanic rituals people used to conduct down there, and that's why the grottos are possessed, and you'll see strange hooded figures and so forth there.
Possession? Strange hooded figures in the middle of the woods next to a cemetery by a river? What could possibly go wrong? Our next step was heading down the hill into the woods to go see these possessed grottos.
I remember correctly, the grottos actually are just spread out.
If you didn't know there was a cemetery up there, it probably wouldn't be that bad.
Yeah.
But knowing that you're on the hill where you have dead bodies buried right into it, just a couple of feet away from you.
And there's something here about near the water, and here is that you're trapped. The only way out is in the water or heading up back through the woods.
The cemetery, yeah.
It gives it that Blair Witch feel.
So here we have one of the grottos, or what once was a grotto.
Yeah, and you can see the black because of the burn, and you can see the moss here. You don't want to touch that, but the black where there were fires.
So if the Kate Blood gravestone was a 4 on a scale of 1 to 10 of scariness, the grottos were getting up there. It was more, more real, because there was actual documented evidence of people who had gone down there, done these satanic rituals on these supposedly supposed to be sacred, altars. These are the stations of the cross, and they actually had to take the figurines, bless them, and bury them years ago because they were being used inappropriately. There was an element of realness to it that the other part of the cemetery didn't have.
I'm trying to get the camera to take a picture right now. It said the flash is on.
Very interesting. For some reason, in haunted places or supposedly haunted places, equipment malfunctions a lot. Electrical equipment. I've been on many cases where I brought equipment in, that brand new batteries, and then they're dead. you bring them out and they work again.
This is very odd because we're trying to take a picture here of the grotto. We have the digital camera, we have the flash on, it says the flash is on, the batteries are working.
What would a ghost investigation be without malfunctioning electrical equipment, right? I mean, it was all too perfect, the way things were just going. It was really bizarre because that camera, I use it all the time, and I know, how it works, and you press the button, it should be taking the picture. And it wasn't as if it just completely stopped working or the batteries died. It looked as if it was on and it was ready to go, but it just wouldn't click. It would not take the picture. And we kept walking to the next grotto station, and that's when the creepiness level just got to be too much.
Now, you said it was confirmed that there was, rituals and things that would be going on down here?
Yeah, that seems to be the story. But here we have a plan. Someone left and some sticks. What do the sticks say? Live.
So you got to picture this. It is nighttime. It is super dark out. We're in the woods. We're at these grotto stations that have these reports of people doing satanic rituals on. They had to go take the figurines, bless them, and bury them. Our electrical equipment is not working correctly. And then on this altar, as we're looking down at it, there's this real decrepit-looking plant. And then in sticks right there from the woods, it spells out L-I-V-E.
Interesting.
And just this whole wave of just weird, goosebumpy emotion just kind of came over both of us. We just kind of looked at each other like, I don't know if we're so alone down here right now. And then all of a sudden he flashes his flashlight off to the side because we saw some trees moving down, and it could have just been an animal or something, but we didn't know at the moment.
Do you see something down that way?
Oh, I just saw you can start heading back up if you'd like.
That's fine with me.
Well, tell me what I worry about a lot of the time are not necessarily the spirit, but the humans.
Yeah.
If indeed there were satanic ceremonies going on down there.
And we would happen to run into them.
Yeah, that who knows if we'd be next.
Yeah.
Once we reached the top of the hill, we were back into the big open-air cemetery, and I never thought I would feel so comforted and safe standing in the middle of a cemetery at night with a full moon. But coming out of that grotto area, there was just something so, I don't know, just like this heavy, negative, dark feeling about it that you didn't want to stay down there very long. Being amongst all those gravestones again, at least in an open area where you could see most everything, really felt very safe. It was an experience that I will never forget. It wasn't about cooking, but it certainly was about Halloween. From thetastespot.com, I'm Tony Bruschi.